people, welcome to another episode of Straight from the Bend. Today, Al and I have a conversation about being in the moment. We don't often take the time to really enjoy what is right in front of us, but rather we dream of what could be. So today, if nothing else, I want you to listen to our conversation, and hopefully that'll spark something within you, or maybe even just get the conversation started about living in the moment. So I won't go any further than that. I'll let our conversation speak for itself. So I hope you enjoy our episode that we have titled, Take Time to Smell the Roses. Testing. Testing 1, 2.
2, 5, 7.
Test.
2, 5, 7.
Welcome
1,
to Straight from the Bend.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Probably the most average podcast ever.
7.
In 3, 2, 1.
Fern the man.
Al.
Here we are again.
Here we are.
Oh, I love this thing we do.
Yeah. I look forward to it every time.
Yes.
You know,
I'm sure
I'm always have a few little butterflies. For some reason, we've been doing, we've done quite a few episodes, but
Yeah.
and I'm in my own home after all. But
Yes.
I feel, I don't know if it's butterflies of excitement or whatever. I enjoy our little talks, and when we
Yeah.
have guests and
You know, I've said that to you before. I wish I was better. I imagine myself
yeah,
podcasting better than I actually do.
okay.
You know?
But you're getting better every time, don't you think? Every time we learn something, every time we...
Yeah, working on transitions better and
Oh,
opening
yeah.
and closing
Yeah, I
and
know.
stuff like that. And as people may know, it's our second language, so sometimes I'm looking for my words. And,
Yeah. You mentioned
know,
that before.
And when people piss me off about Donald Trump, I get flustered, and I can't.
We'll have Gilles back.
Yes,
Don't worry.
yes,
You'll get your chance.
After next election. And we'll see who gets that on top of that one.
If he doesn't get impeached, huh? Do you think?
No, absolutely not.
No.
No. And it's kind of sad actually, because really, anyways, I know we were not planning on talking about Trump tonight, but and I guess my point to Gilles, and because I don't hate Donald Trump, I just think he's a ridiculous president.
Yeah.
And that's my point.
Okay.
There are some roles in life. You have a role to play.
Certain expectations.
Play your role, right? You can have all the policies you want. Even if I don't agree with you, I don't care. But at least act like a president. Like he's a 72-year-old man having rants on Twitter, making fun of people and calling names. And
Yeah. Although I don't agree with that, but I'm wondering, like, what is the expectations, right? Because that's an impossible job, like being president of the United States. Like it's such a ridiculous job just in itself.
Well, it is. But now he's making George Bush Jr. look like brilliant guy.
Maybe that was his plan.
Maybe George put him there. I don't know. Because we made fun of George.
Yeah.
But at least George was trying to be presidential.
Yeah, and George is probably saying, look, I wasn't so bad after all, wasn't I?
Yes, exactly. Well, actually, there was some memes right after.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, there was some
Probably.
memes after Trump got elected, and it was quite funny. Anyways, but that's not the point of our discussion tonight.
No.
Tonight we want to take a moment and smell the roses.
Yes.
Talk about, we live in a fast-paced world, right?
It's funny you mentioned that. The other day, and I think I touched upon it. I talked about this to you the other day, but I was on a call, and I was kind of zoning out a little bit, whatever. But I was looking out the window. I was looking at this tree, just looking out into the world, and for a brief moment there, you just look out in amazement.
Yes.
Like at everything that's going on. Like the tree in itself. Like, how does that tree?
Yes.
How is that tree there, right? And just everything else, like that, you know, that is just there and that humans have created or what not. But it's truly amazing that we're where we're at. Like it's just
Nature is a wonder.
oh my God.
It is so beautiful, and um, I think we take less and less time to admire it. Right? Um, so,
Beautiful but vicious at the same time.
but that's also part of the beauty.
But that's the thing, right?
You have to
It's just
respect it.
exactly.
You have
Like
to
where you're
respect
talking
it.
about weather or animals, or did I ever tell you? I think I told you about this Instagram, Nature is Metal.
Yes.
Oh,
I have to look at
you
it.
have to, and
Tell,
listeners
peop
out
tell,
there,
tell people what
listeners
what
out
it's
there,
about.
if
Yeah.
you haven't, you have to at least take a look. I mean, it's not
Nature
for
is metal.
it's not for everybody. It is gruesome, but it just goes to show that nature does not give a fuck. Like it's as much as animals can show loving
Yes.
and you know that they have characteristics that are similar to ours. They also have
Yeah.
it's nature.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
these are not videos of puppies cuddling with cats.
no,
No.
no.
So
No, it's
so the vicious things. Well, it's really the natural world.
it's a natural world.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're surviving.
Respect
Right?
it. Yeah.
It's the law of the jungle. It's the
Yeah.
you know
So let's go back to your tree moment.
yes.
So you got lost in the tree.
Yeah, you know, just thinking about that tree, how long that tree's been there,
Yeah.
right? Um, why is that tree still there? What is the purpose of that tree? Like, it just it's a little bit amazing in the
Yeah.
sense that everything has its purpose. Like even things that you don't think have much purpose,
Yeah.
has a purpose.
Yes.
Like everything fits.
Yeah.
And
And really, your moment of contemplation has nothing to do with finding the answer.
No.
But asking the question puts you in that moment
yeah,
and keeps you there for as long as you ask the question. You know?
Yeah.
And I think we don't do that enough.
absolutely not.
And to your point about, respecting nature, we have a cottage and, it's, I wouldn't say in the middle of nowhere, but it's isolated, right? And it's in nature. We were there for Hurricane Dorian,
Okay.
and it was fantastic.
Really?
Yes, it was fantastic. We lost power. We had candles. We had charged up all our stuff so that we could still be connected if needed to. But the winds, so it was exciting. It was really scary because we have lots of big trees around the cottage. And, you thought, holy shit, we could, if we hear a big crack, we need to run under a
Yeah.
table or something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was magnificent to see the strength of
Yeah.
of nature. It's devastating if it destroys some of your property and some of your stuff. But the tide came so high. We have a river. The tide came so high that it picked up our neighbor's gazebo and dropped it off on the other side of the river.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
And the river went down,
Yep.
and the gazebo was on the other side. But it's just amazing to see what nature can do, and
Yeah.
it's scary.
Yeah.
Like we go to the ocean because we're on a river, and we go to the ocean every once in a while, which is not very far. And I could sit there for hours just looking at the waves and just be in that moment.
Yeah, but it's incredible. Like, I mean, you just have to. That's the thing, right? Taking a moment. I was raised in the country,
Yeah.
and I don't remember times that I was bored because I would be outside, even if I was alone or with my dog, or we would go in the woods and
Yeah.
I would play in the woods.
Yeah.
And I'd be gone for hours just being in nature, being
Yes.
in the woods, exploring. I knew, like, I mean, we were in a fairly forested area, but I knew that those areas like the back of my hand. Like,
Yeah.
I knew everything, right? and it was just amazing just to be in that environment. And I think now, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, our biggest concentration of our populations live in urban areas,
Yeah.
and I don't think they often experience nature enough because um, I was listening to somebody talking about stress the other day, and they were saying that one of the best stress reliefs were just nature walks, just
Yes.
walking in the forest,
Yes.
the quietness,
Yes.
the because when you're in nature, when you're walking amongst the trees, you can't help but look at nature, right? And no, I think it's amazing. Like
Have you ever experienced silence so deep, I guess, that it made your ears hurt?
I can't say that I remember that. No.
It happened to me once, and
Okay.
I thought it was a weird experience, but I remember that moment. A friend of mine had lent us his parents' cottage, and the kind of cottage where you drove for 15 minutes on a dirt road, bada bing, bada boom, and you drive like 5, 10 kilometers an hour, right?
Yeah.
You're not really driving. Um, for 10, 15 minutes, no electricity around, nothing, nothing. And I remember that night with all the bugs around us, we were outside looking at the beautiful sky, but there was nothing. There's no sound. There's no electricity anywhere around. So there's no hum. There's nothing. And it hurt my ears.
Really?
Yeah. But at the same time, you're thinking, wow, this is nature right there.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was not a breath of wind. It was summer. There was no wind. There was nothing. And I don't think we, and I'm thinking you and me, our generation, but we as a society and our kids in particular don't experience that enough. You know, you were
No.
talking about growing up in the country, and I grew up in the city in a little 2 bedroom apartment, but I was always outside.
Mm-hmm.
I could spend hours outside looking in the grass for bugs and playing with
Yeah.
bugs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put the little ant in your arm, in your hand, and then you build a little something where you have a bunch of ants and you just watch them. I don't think my kids ever did that.
No.
And I would have had to do it with them if I really wanted them to. Like we used to, like nature was the third friend, right?
Yeah.
If you were going outside with a friend, the third friend was nature.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's funny you mentioned because with my kids, like we have where we live, we just have a little wood belt that divides like our yard and another area. So I said one day this summer, I said, "Oh, let's go for a walk in the woods," and they were like, "In the woods?
What woods?
Why would we do that? Like,
Why?
no,
Yeah.
just takes let's
Yeah.
go explore. Let's go." And that was the longest 30 minutes of my life
Really?
because
They weren't into it
they weren't into it. There
at
was
all.
bugs and there was mosquitoes
Yeah.
and the branches were in the way when they were trying to walk and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, no, you know what? And it's interesting you say that because just in front of where we lived when I was a kid, there was, it's all developed now. It's a parking lot, but back then there was a big field and then there was a
Yeah,
little forest. I was in that forest
yeah,
every day of my childhood, building a
yeah.
fort. Um, it was something else.
And you mentioned a fort. I mean, when we were kids, we had a fort. It's I don't know how tall it is in actuality, but back then it seemed like it was 100
Huge.
feet in the air.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was just, and that was great. We were in that fort all the time,
Yeah,
but it was in the middle of the woods, right?
yeah,
It was, I don't know. I think it's something that our generation, that our now generations, our young kids
yeah,
are not getting to experience enough. Some of them are.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to when my kids are a little bit older. A few years ago, like probably I would say, probably 20 years ago now. We did a trail, like a fairly intense trail. It's called the Fun Day Footpath, and at that time it was just a blaze trail. Now it's pretty much all really well laid out and stuff. But the Fun Day Footpath really travels the length of the Bay of Fundy. So it's a beautiful, beautiful trail, but it's hard because you're going up and down ravines and that kind of stuff. But it was just me and two other buddies. We did it. It took us 3 days.
Oh,
And
wow.
basically, you just you backpack it.
Yeah.
You just carry your stuff. But
And you tent on the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that experience.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to being able to do that with my kids.
Yes.
And help, bring them to experience that and
Yes.
to really feel what it is. I mean, every year we do a camping trip.
Yeah.
But really, it's not really a camping trip. It's,
No,
we go
we got
in
tons of luxuries.
we
there.
go in a park and we
Yeah.
go where
with the
our-
Wi-Fi.
What the Wi-Fi? Our car is like about 10 feet away.
Yes. Yes.
It's camping.
Yes.
But this was true camping. Like,
Yes.
you go in and you have to be careful as to what you bring, and
Yeah.
you can't bring too much because it's going to be heavy. And so
Yeah.
that was fun. That
Yeah.
was really interesting. I'm looking forward to being able to do that again with my kids and kind of showing what it is, right? Showing what
Yes.
is really nature.
I did something similar with one of my buddies. It's got to be 15, 20 years ago now. Up north in New Brunswick on the Restigouche River, I believe. Somebody dropped us off somewhere with a canoe
Uh-huh.
and our gear, and they were picking us up 3 days later somewhere down the river.
Okay.
And we had no food. We brought a few crackers, so we were fishing, and he's an outdoors man, right?
Yeah.
And my God, that was an experience, right? Because we didn't see a soul for 3 days. And he's a big guy. Like, he's the kind of guy you're not scared when you're with him.
Yeah.
And our first night, and I'm not a scaredy cat, but I know danger when there's danger, right? So
Yeah.
that night we had some fish and all that, and we kept some in the cooler or whatnot, and he was good, he said, we'll put it over there, so because it's bear season and all crap. So we go to bed, in our tent, and he's got his sleeping bag and I got mine, and it's pretty tight quarters, and he puts an axe between us. He said, listen, if you hear noise in the middle of the night, I'm going to get up and I'm going to tackle it. You take the axe and you just swing. But what if I hit you? So anyways, yeah, we don't take enough time to be in nature and to enjoy it. But the other thing that I find very, I don't want to say disturbing, because it is where we are now in society, but it's not just about watching the tree or playing with the ants and, climbing a tree. It's about being in the present moment.
Yes.
I was
my God,
I was
yes.
traveling last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal the number of people that I saw in the airport that never saw me
Right.
because they had their head in
Looking
their
at
phone.
Yeah.
Like, and I understand we want to multitask and we want to be efficient, but there is something to be said about just take a pause, be where you are. Like,
Live the moment.
Live the moment.
Yeah.
There's some people who probably think, oh my God, I was in the Ottawa airport. I don't remember.
Yeah.
What did I do there?
No.
Well, you were in your phone the whole time.
Yeah. They're looking at pictures of the past.
Yes.
Or they're planning something for the future.
Yes.
But they're not living
in the moment.
Well,
Yeah.
look at how many, and I don't want to pick on young kids because we do it too sometimes,
do it too.
right? We're in a restaurant or whatever, and you're 2 or 3 or whatever, and everybody's looking to their phone.
Yes.
Rather than talking to
Yes.
talking to each other. Or you're kind of talking, but you're not really talking to each other, right?
No. You're
You're not really
distracted.
engaged.
You're looking at
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And your talking is, oh my God, did you see this on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, did you see? Oh my God, look at that Instagram.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I don't know if it's a sign of something,
I don't know.
if it's a bad sign, if it's going
But it's
somewhere.
every time, like even recently, we've had the tragic death of Kobe Bryant and his
Yes.
daughter and
Yes.
other people that were in that helicopter. And I mean, how many was there?
Nine,
Seven,
nine,
nine,
nine total.
nine. So um, it's things like that that make, because that was shocking to me. Like just it was kind of unbelievable. I didn't believe it at first. I thought, oh no,
Yeah.
this is something. But it really makes you think. Like you have to live in the moment. You have to
Yes.
live with your kids. You have to. We had a discussion, me and my wife, the other day that if you really look at it, right now my kids are 9 and 12. At best, we might have another 4 years of traveling time with my daughter because my daughter will be 16. Will she want, at that point, do we know she'll want to be traveling with us or not? So that's 4 more years, 4 more summers of vacation. And when you think about it, it's really not that long.
No.
So, sometimes you think, oh, that's expensive or that's doing, we can't really afford to do that. Well, look, sometimes it's just let's live in the moment. Let's do it and create these memories. But
Yes.
let's do it with them now while we can.
The magic words there, create
Yeah.
memories. Because I'm out of that phase, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have huge regrets, but there's a part of me that thinks I could have made a little more efforts in creating those memories,
Yeah.
right? Like you don't realize that the time is slipping away until it's gone.
Right.
Like my youngest will be 17 this year. Um, he barely comes to the cottage now, not because he doesn't want to necessarily, but he's working.
Yeah.
He's got a life.
He has
He's
a
got a
social life,
girlfriend.
and-
He's got a social life. So those moments when he would come, both of them would come to the cottage, or we would all be at the cottage with my wife's kids too, and like they are far between now. You know?
Yeah. No, exactly. So I think I think you're right. I think it's about being present. It's about enjoying the fact that we are where we are right now.
Yeah.
And the other night we had supper with friends, and I think that is important just as much, right?
Yeah.
Just to be in that moment with your friends.
Yeah.
And so
I often, one of the questions I ask myself just to reset on many things, but one of the important things is living in the moment, right?
mhm,
I ask myself, I shouldn't say often, but because I'm not that maniac, but once in a while I ask myself, if I die in 2 weeks, what will I regret more? Not working more in the past 2 weeks or in the past 6 months,
yeah,
or not doing this or not doing that, or not spending more time with my kids, with my wife, not enjoying the present moment more.
yeah,
And I doubt that there's many people out there who would say, "Oh fuck, yeah, I wish I had worked more."
yeah.
No,
No,
no.
no.
It's I wish I had spent more quality time.
Yeah.
I wish I had seen that tree a little more.
Yeah, and I think, and I can't speak for everybody, but I know for me, a big part of having to work and to working is to be able to do that kind of
Yes.
stuff, right?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
to
yeah.
be able to take the time and have vacation or take the
Yeah.
time to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. As an old friend of mine once told me, and it stuck with me because I think it's a great saying. This is not a rehearsal.
Mm,
We only got one shot at
yeah,
this. It's not a rehearsal.
yeah,
There's no redos.
yeah.
You
It,
know.
it, it's funny. Something just came to mind. There was a family from our area here. It probably was 2 years ago, maybe three now. Um, they had both had jobs. Both the kids were in school, and they decided to take. I don't think it took a full year, but it took. And they posted it on Facebook. They did a whole big thing, but they traveled in an RV from here right down to
Nice.
South America.
Oh,
Yeah, they took. I don't know how long it took. It took probably a good 4 to 6 months, maybe.
imagine the
But yeah,
experiences.
it's they sold their house. And that was their life
Yeah,
for together as a family, experiencing the world,
yeah,
experiencing
yeah,
these this stuff, and yeah, it was something special.
yeah. No, we have to do that more.
Yeah, for
Enjoy,
sure.
enjoy the trees, enjoy the moment,
Yeah,
get off our phones, and just be present.
yes, for sure. I have a friend that hopefully, I don't know if he's listening. He's all over the world, but he's enjoying the present moment right now. His name is Hugo, and
There you
I
go.
haven't I have him on Facebook, and every well, it seems like every day he's just doing something different. Like it's just another adventure. Off to this, like right now he's in the Middle East somewheres. Yesterday he was skydiving, and oh no, he must be in Australia because I saw him with kangaroos. I
Hmm?
don't think there's any kangaroos in the Middle East, but
I don't think
so
so.
I think yeah, so he's probably in Australia.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen him in years since university, but yeah, he's living his as Jose would say, he's living his best life right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's quite impressive.
Well, life is an adventure,
Yes,
and to
from
the most courageous of us who make it a true and a real adventure, well,
mm,
kudos to you.
yeah,
And to the rest of us who are not so brave and have to go to work, and we still can find time to be in
absolutely.
the present moment,
Yeah.
just like we do every time we do Straight from the Bend.
Oh,
Huh?
what a lead off.
What a lead off. Is
That's
that a
perfect.
conclusion or what?
That's a perfect conclusion.
Yes. So
Well,
Fern, as always,
that was deep
that
tonight.
was deep.
That
That was
was
good.
that was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
All right, Fern. It's always a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Cheers.
Cheers, folks.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our conversation. If you did, you could do us a big favor and share with your friends or rate us wherever you listen to this podcast. Our goal is truly to highlight the Maritimes, and we can only do this with your help. If you didn't like our conversation, well, what's the matter with you? Nah, just kidding. Our motto is one day better. That means we always want to be one day better than we were yesterday. So leave us a comment on Facebook and tell us how we can be better. We'd appreciate it, and we might even read your comment on our next podcast. Thanks for listening, and remember, look at everyone like they have something to teach you. See you next time.
This podcast is produced by Straight from the Bend Productions.